Hey guys, so now when Google have introduced their Android 3.0 today, this new Honeycomb, this new awesome Android OS for Google tablets, let's talk a little bit about Google versus the iPad, or I should say Android powered Google tablets versus the iPad, and why I think, and why many other people think that Android powered Google tablet is going to be much better than an iPad. I could agree with 2010. That was the year when the iPad was kind of like the best tablet that you can buy. But right now, when Google have showed their upcoming tablets that will come, then it feels like the iPad 2, Apple got some serious problems here because this is an awesome OS. So why do we think that this Android powered Google tablet is going to be better than the iPad? Well, first of all, we have this annoying thing in the iPad, and that is this notification system. Apple really needs to make a better notification system inside of their little iOS devices, because right now all the notifications are the same. You get a little pop-up right in the middle of the screen, and it is very annoying. I mean, you can play a game and you get this little pop-up message, and you can't like close it or anything. You just have to wait. And yeah, I mean, the iPad screen, it's kind of big, really big. So why can't they make it easier, as they're doing now with Android, as Google are making with Android? I mean, they are making a little small notification that will, pop up in like the corner, and then it will, fade out. And that's the first thing that Apple really need to work on. And then we have this, as I talked about before, this multitasking thing that iPad and the iOS devices really don't have this real multitasking. I mean, you could have a lot of programs up at the same time, but when you change to another, then it's freeze the application that you were doing something in. So that's kind of annoying, and you have to double tap to get up all of your programs you have in the iOS to switch between them. But in this new Android, you don't have to click, or you only have to touch your tablet to get up all of the different programs. So that is one more thing that would be really awesome if they added. They also said that they didn't add this because they were thinking about the battery life and the performance issues that they could have if they add this real useful multitasking. But multitasking, it's important. Asus 11, and we like to use on do many things at the same time. The next thing is also very important, and it is about a better home screen. So I mean, let's think about this for a sec. So we have the iPhone and the iPod. I can understand why they have this kind of grid with all of the apps and stuff like that, just because the screen isn't really that big. But hey, if we go now to the iPad, we see that we have the same system as they are using on iPhone and iPod, and I really don't get it because the screen is so much bigger, and it really looks weird to only have apps as a home screen. I mean, they could have made it much better, add widgets and, add more info and that you can change things. Because the screen, it's a 9-inch screen, almost 10-inch. So they should really make a better home screen because it's important. I mean, you want to see everything as you could on these new Android OS tablets. I mean, you can see your inbox, you can see the weather, you have your calendar, you really could customize your home screen. And yeah, that's also a very big problem Apple have. They should really have another OS for iPad. I mean, right now the iPad is kind of like an iPhone and an iPod, but with a bigger screen. And yeah, that's kind of sad actually, because tablets, they are not just phones and gaming devices, they are like computers. So yeah, so that is one thing that you really have to do, or else they will go down. Promise me, or I promise you, they will go down. Then we have the camera app. So the camera app right now, you may haven't thought about this, but if you have an iOS device, when you launch the camera app, you only have like one option, and that is to take a picture or toggle between video and camera. I mean, just think about that for a sec. There are better camera apps for iOS that you can use, but I mean that original app only have like one button to take pictures with. That kind of sucks actually. In the Android, you know, you get all of these kinds of settings and you can really, you know, edit everything to get really good pictures. I mean, I know Apple, they love to keep it simple, but come on, at least a settings thingy. You should really add that in the next when, yeah, the iPad 2 is probably going to, or the iPad 2 is going to have cameras, probably two. So I really hope that they add some kind of settings to that, so, you know, you can edit your pictures more before you take them. Yeah, that was kind of weird. And then we have a very big one today. Google released their Android market, the web-based one. So you can use download an app and you don't have to sync or anything with the computer, because when you hit install on your computer, then it will automatically install on your phone wireless. So that is kind of awesome. And I mean, if you have an iOS device, you know that you can't do the same thing with iTunes. You have to plug in your device. And I mean, that's so old school. That is a really old school, and Android is so much more better now with this new market, the web-based market. And then we had the things that iPad is still better on, and things that we love about the iPad that I really don't think the Android tablet is going to be better at. And those things are things like the design. You know, it's simple, it's cool, it's beautiful, and that in iPad 2 we are going to have a smaller frame, it's going to be thinner, you know, less weight. It's awesome. Then we have the simplicity. It's very simple, as I said, with the camera apps and everything. You know, the home screen, you only have a bunch of apps. It's so simple. You launch up the camera app, you only have one button to take a picture. Simple, simple, simple. I like to keep it simple. And then we have this awesome program that is launched, AirPlay, so you can stream media from, let's say, your iPad to your Apple TV, and that is a really awesome program. And then we have the hardware. Yeah, Apple, they are really good at hardware actually. They are really good, and you know, the OS and everything is so smooth and all that good stuff. So there are some things that the iPad is still better on. I mean, I love the design and I love the simplicity, but yeah. So that is just my thoughts about this. I think it's going to be awesome when we're going to see more tablets this year, you know, more awesome Android tablets. And it's going to be interesting to see how Apple is going to continue with their devices, if they're continuously going to, you know, have the same OS. And I really hope that they do something about it, you know, make it better, you know, fix some things that I've talked about in this video. So yeah, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and I see you guys next time. Bye.